Hey guys, in this video you're going to see a video you've already seen. This was in the promo for the Pilgrim guide, and this video really I think is probably the best video I have to show the stalker ninja style tactics of the Pilgrim, the kind of way that I think the ship wants to be flown. So as you can see right now I'm in 9-4, which is I whip my slaves back and forth, or abbreviated J4LP. J4LP's home system. There's not too many in system. You can see I have them all selected so I can see when someone comes in and out of system. That's a good thing to do just to kind of keep tabs on the system you're in, is to just select the top one, shift, select the bottom one, have them all highlighted, and then anything new that comes in will show up out of place, like this Chaos Syndro, whatever. So you'll see that person and say, okay, I know that's the new person, the local, and then you can then check the character age, like I've showed you in other videos. Checking character age is huge. It can tell you a lot of times you'll see people in ships they shouldn't be in. Like, for example, we're about to see an Eagle. I don't know if this guy should or shouldn't have been in the Eagle, but a lot of times somebody will be in a ship that's expensive and it's a nice ship, but they don't have the skills to actually fly the ship. So even though usually you couldn't kill that ship, the lack of skills means that you can. So that's how you get some really awesome kills. It's by finding those opportunities. And the way to do that is to keep tabs on the players that you're hunting. So I'm in J4LP. Their main ratting system is this little dead-end pocket, XZH. I think you can see what I was doing here. I was cloaked 2600 off the gate. And I did this a lot in both 9-4 as well as back in Syndicate and EF-F, I think it is. I would sit on a gate that was heavily trafficked by the Care Bears and the Ratters, the Miners, Haulers. And I would sit cloaked on the gate, just off the gate, like 2,300, 2,600 like I am right now. And as soon as I saw something come in the system, like you see that, like I just told you about local, I would uncloak so that I could start burning off my cloaking delay, lock delay after cloaking. And unfortunately this time it was a purifier, so I can't catch that. But a larger ship like a hauler, a mining barge, a ratting ship, a large ratting ship, I could probably catch. So I decided, okay, nothing there. I'm tired of waiting. I'm going to go in and look for a target. I jump in. It's a mistake here you're going to see in a second. But I jump in. First thing to do is directional. I tell you over and over and over, directional is so huge. It's one of the best skills you can learn in this game, is get really good at directional. I did not have my stuff set up properly. You can see the anomalies aren't showing in space. Somehow they got deselected. I probably got irritated with them and deselected them. So I just go about using my directional to try to find them. I see there's some Ishtars and the Eagle. Who cares? I don't really care about the drone boats. Drone boats are going to be a maybe, maybe not fight. They could go either way. And the fact that they can outnumber me means that I'm probably not going to be able to win that fight. However, the Eagle, well, the Eagle's like just my perfect target. You see right here, I'm noticing there are no anomalies in space, but there's anomalies on my probe scanner. Therefore, I must have unchecked them. There we go. And so it's taking me longer to find this Eagle as a result. Had I not had that little problem there, I would have found this Eagle a good 5-10 seconds faster. So I see he's in that cluster. I can't tell exactly which one. I could guess he's in one of those 3 on the right, but that's a 1 in 3 chance. I'm not willing to take that chance and potentially uncloak. So I'm going to warp to the customs office near those and try to get a little bit more separation on those anomalies so I can figure out which one he is in. Eagle's an ideal target because it's a completely active target. The most passive you're ever going to see, you notice this part right here. See how I'm scanning while I'm still in warp? That's pretty key. It's something that I really think you should try to practice, is while you're in warp, before you come out of warp, you need to find the target so that by the time you come out of warp, you're only out of warp for just like a split second, and then you're right back in. As soon as you see this warp drive active thing disappear, you hit warp. So you minimize the time it's taking, because you can see this guy in local said a bad 21, hi. Whether he's saying that because he knows who I am and he's saying hi to me, or he's saying that, a lot of people will do that just as a local warning. So no matter who comes in the system, they'll link their name and say hi, and everybody in the system knows that that's kind of the sign, that's the secret signal that there's a neutral in system. But the Eagle is always going to be hybrid turrets, whether it's blasters or railguns, always going to be hybrid turrets. He can fit a really, really good active shield tank, or in this case, I think it's a passive shield tank. Doesn't matter. I'm going to turn off all of his hardeners. I'm going to turn off his guns. You can see how I uncloaked. The moment I saw that he'd be within about 25, 30K or less than 30K, I decided this is go time. Let's uncloak so I don't have to waste any of my cloaking delay. That cloaking delay is your enemy. You got to really work hard to minimize that 6-second cloaking delay from the time you uncloak to the time you can lock a target. He starts to get out of my range, so I overload my point. You've got to always be mindful of the range you are from the target and from your point range. He's going to try, the first thing in his mind when I come in is, oh no, there's a Pilgrim here. I need to run. And so he's going to try to get away, which sometimes is going to expand that range on you and make you fall out of warp distance. If he was smart enough to align and spam warp, he might get away. So if you see it getting towards that edge of your point range, go ahead and overload for a cycle while you tighten your orbit. I tighten my orbit to 15 kilometers. You can see right above my capacitor there. So his capacitor is broken. He's dying really fast. You see in local, he said, please warp to me, save me. And I said, please do, because of 2 reasons. I wanted someone to warp here. For one reason, I said, please do, because just the sheer confidence of saying please do in local is going to make people think twice about coming. So it's a little bit of a mind game. I really don't want to fight those Ishtars. I'd rather not. I could probably nuke them and get away, but still, being half shields, capacitors, half, and now all these rats are going to be shooting at me, it's not an ideal fight for me. So I say please do in hopes that I can dissuade anyone from coming to this guy's aid, not because I actually want them to, unless they're in a ship that's relatively easy to kill. Unfortunately, it's just Ishtar on scan. So the Ishtar comes in, warps to his buddy to save him. So immediately I think, oh, I need to warp away. That no, let's maybe fight this guy. No, I try to warp away. Huh. Okay, I remember that I fought that guy, but maybe not. Okay. I think I saw him warping off, and then it stopped. Well, whatever. Anyway, so when he landed, he was too scared to take me on 1 versus 1. He saw the fight was over, and he saw me there, and he thought that, I was a danger, maybe due to my confidence in local. Honestly, with the rats shooting at me, his added DPS would have forced me off the field, and I couldn't have stayed and fought that Ishtar. It would have been impossible. So certainly in this fit, maybe in the armor fit, I could have tanked him long enough to get in and kill him. I don't know. Doubtful. So now what I'm doing is basically, you've seen this in all other videos, Scorched Earth. I'm going to loot him, take all the good stuff. The wreck, it's a Tech 2 wreck. I want to blow that up. That's going to have good salvage. Scorched Earth, leave nothing behind for your enemy. Make it as painful as possible. Again, it's not personal, but in this game, you play to win. And, and a lot of people who buy my guides are going to have arch enemies in the game, and they're going to want to do as much damage to those enemies as possible. And this is the way to do it. Let's take a look at that fit. Okay, so here is a somewhat of an example of, for one, someone who shouldn't be flying the ship yet. If you can't fit Tech 2s, don't fly it. If you can't, Tech 2 weapons are pretty much a must unless you're in a Tech 1 ship. If you're flying a Tech 2 ship, just wait till you get Tech 2 weapons. Don't fly with Tech 1. Okay, his fit is very much set for resists and passive. So his fit is 100% resist based because the Eagle has nice resists. You add some hardeners to that and it's got great resists. Serpentis or thermal kinetic, I don't know why he had EM there. I guess it's just a natural hole maybe. But yeah, so he was just a passive tank. My newts would have turned off his hardeners, but nonetheless, that's not a ship that's going to hold up well. Especially, I always had my infiltrators out, EM damage. So if he did have an EM hole and I turned off that EM ward, then certainly I would have been tearing through it pretty fast. 157 mil is kill, Tech 2 rigs, pretty nice. Oops. Okay. So it was a good kill, and that's basically what you want to do when you're back in these back systems hunting these people. Look for those situations. Like these guys at some points got so comfortable with me being in their system that they would just go right out, and even with me in system, they'd be out ratting. And the majority of the time it wasn't bait, but I was always cautious of whether or not it was bait. I'd see what was on scan around the system, maybe go warp to a tactical in the station and see what was there, just to make sure it was safe before I actually took it. You know, if I had the feeling it was bait, it's better off to go double check before you go in. But that's just a solid ninja ratter kill. Um, with a lot of, I think, important lessons there that you can learn from to better your pilgrim flying.